Excuse me a minute. Oh damn, oh yes I can. Be right with you. 222 there. I think we're still arguing over on the other channel. I've forgotten to do something I promised I would. And a good mage always keeps his promise. Jasmine and Anja. Just be 2 seconds, guys, 2 seconds. Or Robert, are you here? I forgot to tweet you, man. Twitter. 7 Serpents, Lisa F, yeah. Old Rome, wow, wow, you're still away. Lisa found out in her travels that Scots are everywhere and we do rule the world. We are the secret Illuminati. Right, I'm just going to have to cut the music for 2 seconds because I promised a good friend that I would absolutely DM him. So excuse me for a minute. Is it still going on over there? Who's been watching Chanter and Posmo and Brandon? Oh no. Kiss, kiss. Boop. Right. Forgive me, people. Forgive me. How rude. Here we go. So I've managed to get now that's much better set up. We've got Frank, who is going to be imbued with the spirit of a tulpa. I've been kind of preparing him by feeding him. Algong is in. I'm in no hurry tonight, guys. I'm sorry. It's like 3 minutes past 5 in the morning, in the AM in Scotland. I've been waiting and waiting to come on today because I've been down so many hours. We're short-staffed covering holidays. You've been away for 11 days? Wow. I had an 8-day holiday recently, summer, and then I had 5 days, just a couple of days later, work and everything. And that's when I did all the psilocybin, and that's what actually caused this. And look, new glasses. I lost them the other night when I was out with Sora Stardust, my beautiful new girlfriend, and it's now official. I even announced it on Facebook, in a relationship. And we got lots of lovely thank yous from our Aberdeen crew, because we have kind of overlapping friends. It's a small place, Aberdeen, and I also found out that some of my old pals from my good old bad old days are also watching. So hey, Alistair, it's to see you, buddy. Brilliant to see you all. I didn't think I'd get anybody watching because Posmo's streaming, Modwiz is streaming, a lot of guys are streaming tonight. Yes, I'm happy. I'm so happy, and I just didn't see it coming. It is true. As soon as you stop looking for, as soon as you're happy in yourself, and think, wow, I'm really enjoying, being on my own, and I don't need anyone, and I'm not needy. The right person just, yes. Are they still arguing? Well, not arguing. Are they still debating? I was watching it as well, I have to say. I was like, I do rituals before this live stream always to get me in the mood. And I was just going to go in, and I noticed Posmo was, and it said something to do with Brandon Young, and they're all friends. I count them all as friends. So I had to jump in for a minute, but then it was shouty, and I don't like shouty. I'm too old for shouty. Although, I can if I have to, but I don't have to. That's the beautiful thing about being Astaroth, the mage, the star demon. It actually comes from Astarte, Excellent, Lisa. You have a beautiful trip. Yes, they do, Jasmine, and you are a very good voice of reason to have around. There's always a moderator. Oh, thank you, Oswald. Well, we all are, aren't we? we just put ourselves out there and see what happens. And it's all been beautiful for me. I've loved every minute of it. Oh, nice one. Oh, wow. Yeah, I had one of them. They're not that hard to install, actually. The Hebrew keyboards, they're amazing. And it makes... After watching your Hebrew show, I went and typical Saroth. See, I've got loads of notes, but I'm... no, I said Astaroth. It was, I like puns and plays on words, and I've been thinking about Astaroth, you know, because of the... And there's also a demon called Sorath, a sun demon. And the name came through for me in a channel, I have to say, Saroth. Well, first it was Sarok, and then we were doing, yeah, Oswald. With a name like that, it would be like, they'd be confused. I went and marked my tarot cards with the Hebrew letters, only to look, and I kind of should have known this, it's the Thothback, the Hebrew letters are already on it. Silly Saroth, because that's one of the exercises from the Theoricus grade, but I do skip the odd exercise. So that's been going fantastic. I mean, because I have to do rituals in the morning. I don't have to do them, I choose to do them. Rituals in the morning before I go out, but I don't do the full set. I maybe do just going by 30 minutes. Okay, you see, when you're doing it on your phone, the comments just pop out for a second and then fade away. So if I don't catch you, I'm very sorry. I do try to engage with everyone who beautifully turns up and watches, because if you didn't watch, there wouldn't be much point in doing it, is it? Hey, Triple X, I saw you in one of the many chats I've been in today. I think it started with 7 Serpents, and then we had Robert, Logos of Raphael. I don't know what's happened to him. Where are you, Robert? Did you get me tweet? Oops, keep forgetting that it turns the music off. Yeah, so Robert, and then who else did I watch? And then there was Omni Eris, Michael, great funny guy. Then it was somebody else, was it Posmo then? And then he came on, and then Brandon, and then CW all piled in. So just stay here, nobody gets to go over there. You're with me now. It'd be rude to leave. So I've got coffee, mint tea, herbal cigarette, gong, staff. Still not done any work to it at all, but it's going to be beautiful, and I've been really, it's such a strong, it's like a metaphor for the magician himself. Flexible, strong, and covered in moss. Boom, boom, whoop. So let's have a look at my notes then. Yeah, I came out with some. I felt absolutely fantastic this morning. I've been working so much, like I keep saying, but just to have a good night's sleep last night. No boozing, no drugging, nothing. Just a nice, good, restorative sleep. And I woke up this morning feeling absolutely fantastic. Midnight, thank you for staying beyond midnight. It still feels like Saturday to me, although we're well into Sunday now. So I invoked Saturn twice now, and I tend not to banish, because the banishing ritual of the hexagram is it banishes Saturn every day. So if you're going to invite a planetary power into your circle, you don't want to. Hey, you got here. So good to see you, Logos. Got so much respect for the current, you could say, the new wave of magicians that are on YouTube at the moment, which would be you, 7 Serpents, Grey Wolf, always, my brother. He popped in for a bit this morning, but I mean, in Las Vegas, God knows what time it'll be. This is the problem. It's not a problem, it's a beautiful thing, but so many of my subs are American, and the times are just, they don't match up, so it's very hard for me to reach everyone. Coffee first. Beautiful. I do love coffee. See, coffee, and I do love a cigarette or even a vape. I try not to smoke tobacco on its own. in the morning, coffee, and then some studying. I don't rush out of bed to do my rituals on a day off. Like today, I was reading and I came up with my aphorisms, of which I've only still got 4, but they're not bad. We'll go into them in a minute. See, things happen so fast in YouTube world that your notes and your own focus shift very quickly, especially when you're on like somebody, Phoenix Chastain as well. Thank you so much for the beautiful, detailed and intelligent comments you leave on the videos. And I did mean to address them point by point, but I never get round to them. But it was inspiring, those comments, and she asked me, like, so where do you see yourself going, or just, it was a very stimulating question, and I love people leaving comments, so please litter my videos with interesting comments, and it gives me lines of inquiry and research, because in the synchronicity mesh which is created when you start practicing the dark arts of magic, everything is information, everything is a sign from whoever I'm worshipping that day, Thosis usually, and my own personal Thoth Isis god form. But it's not mine only, everybody can have a shotty, you know. Feel free to partake of the Thosis Gnosis. You kind of are now, but it's you're sitting in a golden dawn space at the moment, simply because I'm following the curriculum of the Golden Dawn. But I read and research much more on top of that, and my history, although this channel started in 2012. I've said all this before, but I'll just recap. Because I think since about 2007, me and my dear friend Lato had been we'd done the Isis magic, she'd done Reiki, which had provoked a major experience, a very weird experience where I felt out my body, and I got a ecological message from what I thought were Pleiadians. Very strange. And I'm going to tell you another thing, because I might as well tell you now before I forget, because I've got this really annoying habit of starting stories and then somebody comes into chat and I forget. So when I came back from the Zalatar grade after 2 years absence, a lot of this stuff I'd kind of pushed to the back of my mind and said, no, it was fantasy, it was this, it was that. But now, knowing, because the more you practice, the finer your antenna is tuned, I think. So increased practice does bring increased awareness of other realities. So I do now think this vision was, the message is pretty clear when I tell you it. So here is a vision I once obtained doing the Zalatar grade, and I've also, if you are interested in my work, when I did a good cut up today, Diary of a Dog Fiend, I think there's a link of my WordPress page, a blog, because I used to kind of fancy myself as a writer during, it's all during, and I still like to write. I did a nice cut up today that I'm very pleased with. I found if you're writing about psilocybin and non-linear stuff, then cut-ups can be absolutely brilliant, because they just basically, and I should give credit where credit's due, because I feel a bit bad. This Lazarus Cut Up Corporation, I think that's their name. I should really find some way to thank them, and I'm going to send them a donation, because the guys obviously put a lot of work into this machine. You just feed in text, original text or somebody else's. I use original. Stick it in this machine. You can alter the frequency of the cuts and the words. It's very sophisticated, and then you just press a button and it transforms your text into a cut up in a very interesting way. It repeats words, and it does a beautiful job. Yeah, I've got Isis tattooed all over my arm. The mother goddess is a very strong archetype for me, because I got father issues, don't we all? Oh, Jehovah, Papa, I hate you. But I don't. I totally love him, and I totally made peace with him when I was actually holding his hand when he died, and it was a very beautiful thing. And I was also there at my grandmother's death. I didn't kill them. They died of natural causes, kinda. But I saw my granny as well, and she was weird. You just saw her whole body just when the soul left. So I totally believe that the animating principle does leave you when you die. But back to the vision, you thought I'd forgotten. So I was doing, it was just invoking Earth at the times, invoking the four powers of Earth. But I was doing a breathing exercise, which is quite hard. I've tried to remember how to do it, and I don't even remember how to do it. It's called the death posture, and it was pioneered by a guy called Austin Osman Spear, AOS, yes, very famous, very inspirational occultist, brilliant artist as well. Anyway, he designed this posture where it's almost verging on auto asphyxiation, but it's not, because there's a fail-safe that you can't. But it does do something weird to your brain, and I was doing that, and I just suddenly got sucked into this kind of daydream, where I was. It just looked like Scotland. It was very ordinary landscape, kind of just how Scotland looks a lot of the time. Bluey, grey sky, green, sort of mossy hill, grassy hill, but there's a cave inside. The breath, yes, that's very important. Do everything and you want breath, yes. So there was a cave, and I'm literally just watching it like it's happening to someone else. But I learned to do this. Yes, I did learn to do it in channeling and stuff, to kind of it's almost like flipping like you can flip your eyes back in your skull with a bit of practice. It's almost like flipping your mind back. So I was watching this thing, and the next thing I know, there's this griffin-like animal runs up to meet me, and it's like a friendly pet dog. And I got and before I went into the cave, this is another bit that I've forgotten. I asked for some reason, in the meditation or the visualization or whatever it was, who am I? I don't even know why I asked that, and it said Shabbatai. And when I looked up Shabbatai, I found this guy Shabbatai's V, and I don't think I'm him, but you never know. So I got inside the cave, and there was this old, pathetic-looking old man in sort of sackcloth and grey beard, but it was all sort of dirty and mangled, and he looked like a, really washed out. And but the griffin dog kind of thing, it was so real as well. And the cave was freezing, and I knew there was something wrong in the cave. And there was just this tiny little bundle of sticks in the middle of the floor. And for some reason, I had a little tiny white feather. Hey, enjoy being, yes! Finally, you've made it. I think you've been to one before. Is anyone else chopping up stuff? I think the streams have been not bad from this phone lately. So I'm in the cave with this old dude, and I have this little white feather in the palm of my hand, just the kind you sometimes find floating in the air. And I, for some reason, knew to throw it down in the fire, this tiny pathetic kindling, and the flames just went whoosh, and this huge flames started flying, and the wizard grew and stretched. It was actually got a little bit scary. He stretched out his arms in like the Tau form, the T. And he looked exactly like Christopher Lee in Lord of the Rings, the same dark eyes, and he's like, and he started like vibrating and levitating. And his name was Arbitel. I'd never heard of the Arbitel of Magick. I really hadn't. And then on the Facebook, I'd posted it, and a guy who used to be a brilliant guy on our Facebook page, Transmagus. I wonder whatever happened to Transmagus. If you're out there, Trans, I hope you're doing well. He brought my attention to the Arbitel of Magick, and you'd have thought, well, that's a clear sign from your spirit guides and whoever it was that you contacted that you should read the Arbitel of Magick. But did I? No, of course not. Didn't have time. I did have time, but I just didn't follow the lead. Now I would follow that lead, and will. So, my aphorisms, just now, I'll just go over them again, because I think an aphorism is supposed to be something that's really, really true. So, true. Truths are many, truth is one. Yeah, well, you're part of the reason that book's been on my mind, Robert, because you talk a lot about the Arbitel, and it's been a big change in my outlook to magic. You know, I did used to favour the psychological model. I'd try to push any notions of supernatural reality out of the equation, you know. Prospero, greetings. First time you've been here. I love a newcomer. Yeah, enjoy being here all the way over in New Zealand, which is just shows the brilliant tool that is the internet and YouTube. So let's not all start bitching about YouTube. With my 1,300,000 subscribers, you know, I got a lot of power. Oh yes, which brings me on to my second. Greetings, Prospero. Whoa! Dropped a clanger. 2222. 22 is obviously the number of the Hebrew letters and the 22 trumps of the major arcana, which are upside down. Da, 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 da. Look at my poor cards. They've had such abuse over the years. The High Priestess has just I found her face down in a pool of alcohol one day. Where are you, High? Oh, look at her. I know it's still all backwards as well, which really annoys me. I've kind of had to draw her back in. It's sacrilege. But I make the rules and I break them. Sometimes, but I'm learning to stick to the rules more. If you stick to the rules, it is more effective. Have I been going 22 minutes? You don't actually... Oh, yes, you do. I see it. 22:48, yeah. All numbers. See, obviously it's the numbers that mean something to you that stick out, but all numbers, you see, bus numbers, license plates, YouTube analytics that can all be used for various Kabbalistic little weird methods, and divination's another interesting. The Rider-Waite deck, it's the classic deck, but I do prefer the Thoth or the Thoth deck, because I do think Crowley, you know, I do Golden Dawn Magick, but it's only because I haven't got the time to, you know, I've vowed to do the grade work. And a magical vow has got to be kept, so it's not that far away. I'm almost on Practicus. I'm up to Bina on the left side of my, no, right side of my head. Left side, right side, right side. On the body in Yetzirah. So I haven't got that much more of the Theoricus grade to do. I've loved it. It's been absolutely brilliant. All about ego, mind, and boy, have I been finding out about my own little ego. But it's all good. And even the bad, just say shadow work. I almost bought that deck today because well, it's just, you know, he's just a genius, isn't he, really? And I went, you know, as a teenager, I absolutely loved Crowley, but didn't really understand his magic. I just liked his style and the fact that he was obviously a rebel, you know, he was the rock and roll magician. That's a beautiful one, look. That's a nice little shin I've drawn there, even though I do say so myself. I guess there's, oh look, that was an incense stick that burned right through it. Not a hash burn, that would be a hell of a rock. So where was I? Oh yeah, my aphorisms, my Nietzschean aphorisms, because I've been listening to a lot of. See, YouTube's so handy. You can listen and learn at any time. Yeah, book 4 is the classic. But he's got good stuff scattered all over the place. That's what I like about Magick. You open one book and it refers you to another book, and it's just endless study, so you can immerse yourself in it and roll around in it all day, and you just get, it's just so mind expanding. And because of the 10 Sephirot of the Tree of Life, you've got a filing system for all these ideas, and you can go beyond there's no limit to how far you can go in Magick. You're only limited by your own doubts and fears and personal demons. And as you go through Magick, you clear out those demons, don't you? You find them and you root them out, and you make friends with them and you incorporate them, and then you start talking to things that are outside yourself, the spirit world that is pre-existing, which is a strange concept to me, but I'm definitely beginning to find out it is. And the process of the Holy Guardian Angel, I look back on my own weird and wonderful magical path as wayward as it's been at times. I think there always has been it's a very real thing for me. And for you all, I'm sure. Believe in the magic of living in nature. I don't subscribe to many of the aids people embrace personally. Well, I think, aids are better than nothing, and I do think philosophy and thinking about things isn't quite enough. It's not enough for me. You need to anchor it in the physical, and I think that's what a lot of the drawing physically gives. The more I've been doing ritual and practicing a series of rituals, it becomes like it sounds a bit poncy, but it becomes like a dance, and it should be graceful but powerful, and it should be an expression of your being. All magic is an expression of being, so it's also a creative thing, and it's great for me as a part-time visual artist and writer to, hey Darcy, yo. I love when I've got ladies and guys in the chat, because it balances things out and it makes things beautiful. Were you over there, Darcy? Are they still arguing? I'm doing my own thing, but I can't help but be curious. I hope they've reached, because I love Brandon, I love CW, and I love Positive. I love everybody in this community without exception. So my next aphorism was powerful. My next aphorism is powerful. They all are. It's power is self-evident. So people, if anybody's on the internet saying, oh, I've got powers, special powers, I can do this and I can do that, I immediately mistrust them, because actions speak louder than words, and judge a man by his deeds, and talk is cheap, what was written here, and don't set yourself up to fail, which is I've often done in my life. I make impossible promises. So now, being the more conscientious mage, I try and under-promise and over-deliver. It's like ritual, yes, spiritual space, you absolutely need it. This lovely big room with a big high ceiling is just so perfect, because I can almost zone the room off, and I've got this screen so I can move everything about quite easily. I've got a circle on my floor. I did a thing spontaneously tonight where I laid out tarot cards in the different directions, and they all just fit so nicely. That's the thing about magic. All systems are interchangeable in a way, but you do have to focus on the one that you're, if you try and spread yourself over too many disciplines, the power gets diluted, I think. So you're better to focus really hard on a few areas of expertise at a time. But we're living long lives nowadays, and the banishing ritual of the hexagram promotes long life and a healthy body. Okay, I've only been going half an hour. I think I'll try and do about an hour tonight, because I owe it to myself to have a good old stream, because it's very therapeutic for me as well to have so many friends present in my humble little cheap crap. No, it wouldn't be that at all. That would be unpolitic of me to say, sir. The lesser sacrament, it may well be, yes. In fact, indeed it is. I cannot tell a lie. The lesser sacrament is very important in my spiritual work. If I didn't have the... Well, no, that's not true. And, it does get a little bit unhealthy when you rely on these aids. Plant teacher or no plant teacher, I found out that you can't really abuse psilocybin. You can certainly abuse the lesser sacrament. Lesser sacrament, greater sacrament, get me? And I was also thinking I was a greater sacrilege and a lesser sacrilege, but I'm not even going to mention what they are. That Justin, Jolene, Mark Hatt, Davy Curry, all my Aberdeen beautiful friends, you'll know what I'm talking about, and I love you guys so much, and I was thrilled to find out that you watch sometimes. That's really beautiful. My friends and my new friends might all get together and chat one night and hug. And I'm a little bit late for Sawder Stardust, but she always watches as well, so it's nice to know that you've got your pals watching. And I have made so many good friends online. I've had a couple of arguments, but the love and the true friendship far outweighs the occasional gripes and snipes. They're part of the scene. They always will be, and especially where people get invested in their systems and but that's not my way. I always try and remain open, and if I get new information that proves something wrong that I was doing before, or embarking up the wrong tree, I will quickly change my mind and reorientate myself. And with daily magical practice, the reorientation is always just tiny little adjustments into the centre. You rarely go, although there are some points in the summer where I have seen like a hose that's just, that you let go of a hose with a big force of water and it's just spraying all over the place. I did feel like that. Well, families have to fight, and that have to make up in their own way. Love is the uniting factor in the whole spiritual universe. What caused creation? It must have been some kind of love. Some kind of love is better than others. I think I'll bang the gong for that sentiment. I can't remember what it was, but it was something beautiful about love. And I love love. Oh, I thought that was... I'm obsessed with 333 at the moment. Look at that bowl, isn't it beautiful? I got it for not that much money. Like a new age fair. This is not a wand, this is a gong striker. But we have established that. Well, look at my African mask, it looks quite good. I'm quite pleased, and look at my little owl, I've got all my little totems. I've got Ganesh back there, I've even got some fresh flowers. Love and energy can't be destroyed, so is energy love? Love evolve? Is love the force that... oh, sorry, it's not loaded. Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, love. This is a... what's this? This is a weapon, this is a gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun. But we're not going to go there. Oh yeah, and another one that... Jasmine, you like this one? It was... Nothing is born out of balance. Now also, well, yeah, that's an important thing for me. If things were in complete balance and stasis, nothing would ever get created. Creative people are always like a gyroscope. The off balance causes movement, and movement causes creation. Because I have an idea of sort of the, whatever it was, the God mind, the Ein Sof, or there's so many terms, I forget the terminology. My short-term memory is gone, as you may have noticed. Love is the molecular glue that holds us all together, and I totally didn't get that until actually quite recently. I thought, I couldn't really love, what is this nebulous concept? I understood personal love and physical love, but I didn't really understand the spiritual love. But I totally do now, I must admit. But it's all happened very recently. There was a huge change after that massive trip, which I call the Saroth the Mage trip, because that's when I was kind of participating in the YouTube community as my name, which is Steve Ray. And I had this brilliant trip where I'd struggled for like a good hour and a half with some really dark stuff, climbed out of it and reached the top of the mountain, and like Nietzsche, I was free beyond good and evil, and the gods of thunder declared that I would become Saroth the Mage and become the most awesome spiritual leader of the millennium. But I would have no ego about it at all. And I always agree with Logos, because you're a very wise man. When the plurality of life became dominant, without love, all life was destroyed. Yeah. You've just got to have love. So nothing is born out of balance. Yeah, you need friction to create things. And then with this one, wasn't quite so good. I like power is self-evident. Truths are many, truth is one, because, we all have our own versions of truth, but there is one underlying truth. It's like the Platonic idea of the world of pre-existing forms, because everything in nature and like I say, I saw a picture of the universe. Yeah. I also gave notion to the claim of, that was Crowley, wasn't it, that said, see, I never understood that equation, but I never understand anything to do with numbers apart from simple adding up and subtracting, which is all you need for the kabbalah, really. Unless unless maths and numbers are your thing, but they're totally not my thing. Language and letters and images and symbols are more my thing. Numbers, I try to, like the magical squares for the planets and stuff, I avoid them at all costs, but I understand they're necessary, and even things like the Enochian boards, the very fact that it's got straight lines on it puts me off a bit. But I do it because it is part of the discipline of Magick, and I am a student of Magick, sir, Mrs. Oh god, that's really good coffee. It's lukewarm. Went to a lovely place today with Solar Stardust. Food story, very hip, and it's also all that sort of kale and stuff. Our perceptions are our only interaction with the universe. That's very true. Dim glow, yeah, well, sometimes I'm blazing and sometimes I'm, barely glowing myself. But tonight and all day I've been blazing. I think I also am rapidly decreasing, well, not rapidly decreasing, but decreasing on this small little problem I have. And it does make me hyper speedy. I noticed that I was, poor Sora, my beautiful new kind of spiritual wife, soulmate, twin flame even. She was just sitting, and I was very excited on the strong coffee. Oh, don't start doing numbers at me, guys. Don't get me confused. I can see I've got 11 people in chat, which is pretty damn good. There were 30 people watching CW and Posmo and Brandon, I noticed, so 11 people. Yeah, baby! And this is another thing, the channel is going to build, I believe, and I'm just going to keep going, because there's always, I haven't even read any of my notes yet, and I've talked for 40 minutes. It's just finding the time to do it is very difficult nowadays. Work has just been extreme lately, where, like I say, I've said how many times I have to say that? It's these little mental obsessions, by doing daily practice, it really puts the microscope on all your little learned behaviours and responses to things, automatic things that are sometimes quite damaging. And it really is such a great self-help tool. So is yoga, so is and a lot of the Solar Stardust had a gong buff. Oh my god, there is a huge spider. Wow, that's a sign. Ixtab, the weaver of traps. I always think of Ixtab as a... Well, I was going to do the Burroughs thing tonight, but I haven't even... I doubt we'll get around to Burroughs tonight. I had a weird idea about talking about Sitting Bull tonight as well, because Sitting Bull was the first time I really ever got truly very into the spiritual thing and found that inner power that I didn't know I'd had. Well, spirituality does save people's lives, that's the whole thing. I think it saved my life from a horrible death or heroin addiction or wherever I was going. And that's the truth. My truth, perhaps not the truth, that's a truth. Because truths are many, truth is one. Oh yeah, Sitting Bull. Yeah, really related to, in your magic, you're the spider, the web, and the fly. Yes, you absolutely are. Yeah, and I can totally love that analogy because it does feel like I've got a web, and the spider is the super conscious that's, or you could say the God force or whatever the hell it is that cracks into you when you undergo one kind of initiation or another. And we do need them in magic, these initiations. In the Golden Dawn book that I'm studying, it draws out the whole Golden Dawn initiation ceremony, and I would like to go through the ceremony with, to get it done by other people. But there's no way I'm doing that initiation. I mean, you need about 4 people for a start, unless you're acting out all the roles, which would be very confusing. And it seems a little bit Masonic and a little bit dull, to be honest. I didn't actually say about the mat initiation. I keep going back to shows from way back, because as soon as you start streaming, any ideas that you have for a plan seem to go out the window. Remind you. Sorry about the constant. I just really enjoy it. It's like some people like smoking on the phone. I like smoking while I'm streaming and drinking this. This is the mint tea now. The opposite of some of the definitions of both love and hate is indifference, yeah. Last night I asked on one show, what is the opposite of love? And I think it is indifference, wouldn't it be? I try to, I think organic is good and sort of low tech, I like that thing, that's why I like CW's thing so much, but everybody does it that way that I know. Nobody that does the highly produced, well, Omni, but he's very artistic and he does it brilliantly. But like the big studio setups and stuff, I think it's much cooler. The bands I used to like the Fall in their early days and all those pioneering sort of post-punky, grungy, we used to play in our bedrooms. That's what it's all about, mate. It's the DIY punk ethic. And that goes with another aphorism. Backwards. I really wish I could find out a way to stop my phone mirroring all my stuff, so I could show fear could be the opposite of love. Yeah, definitely. One's an attracting force. Love, fear is definitely a repelling force. So that's a good one, Jasmine. Yeah. Fix yourself first. There is a lot of with I was ranting this to myself while I was like waiting to do my stream. The opposite of love is non-existence. Did you say, Alistair? That's brilliant. I like that. See, fucking bright people I get in here. Fix yourself first. And this is another Nietzschean thing. He was totally into self-transformation. I'd got a lot of philosophy way wrong, and I can't understand why I wasn't exposed to more of it at university, because I did English, for God's sake. It was my choice. I stupidly studied anthropology in first year when I could have done, well, I went straight into second year actually. I stupidly studied anthropology in second year when I should have done philosophy. I wish I had, but the good thing about having friends who have the same interests as you is they can give you tips, because they can see where you're. Elon Musk said that, did he? Love is the answer. When he says it, it sounds like a cliche, damn it. I'm not sure what I think about Elon Musk. I did notice somebody reckons he's microdosing, which is interesting. I mean, he is some kind of genius, obviously. But I'm just not sure if he's Dr. Evil or, I don't trust these ultra-rich types. They're reptiles, aren't they? Eat the rich. So, I was thinking about how literal is the Holy Guardian Angel, because I was also, this is another thing, Solar Stardust is so good, she's like a therapist as well. Anybody that listens to me is my therapist. I was telling her about this car crash I was in as a sort of youth. I didn't think it affected me that much, but a really weird thing happened. I thought we were going to die. I think everybody in the car did, and the fire brigade who came to cut us out said if we hadn't hit this wall that had bent, a fence that had bent, an iron, and it was a big old iron fence, and the front of the car come crashing in like that. They said if we'd hit the wall, we'd have all been killed, and there was 5 of us in the car, and we smashed into this fence, and I was in the front seat, and when this happened, everything went absolutely silent and slow motion, giving yourself time to, and I don't know if I said it was my friend, but I just heard a voice saying, "Cover your head." So I had time to do that, although it must have just taken seconds, and everybody was miraculously unhurt, but that was a brush with death, and maybe I carry a little bit. This is the kind of thing that comes up when you're practicing the hexagrams, pentagrams, all that stuff, meditating, reading a lot of, the reading list on the Kabbalah Magick book alone is too much. It's exhaustive. There's no way I can ever read that much at the moment. But YouTube, again, is so handy. You can get lots of information. It can. It does. It absolutely does. And it manifests as all kinds of weird behaviours, fears, complexes. And that's what shows up under the microscope and the magnifying glass of Magick, daily Magick. I'm actually getting pretty tired, man. It's like 5:30 in the morning. 5:45, actually. See, I'd really hoped to go on earlier, but hey, it's been good. I haven't really said as much as I'd wanted to. Don't know how much longer I can go. Whoa. See, a lot of stuff doesn't really. I've got an. I did. I'll go out with. I might go out. We'll see. I'm flagging a bit. I'll have some more coffee. A dedicated mage I am. Pick a good one and we'll unpick it. Okay. Well, I did get an interesting Ching today, and it very much relates to some of the stuff that's going on in the community. So, should I do that one? Or should I do something a bit more magical? Because it's about the well. It's called Ching, the well, community pure water. But I'm kind of bored of that stuff at the moment. I want something nasty. Whatever right here. Okay. I was thinking about Sitting Bull and how much of an inspiration he was. And how he was killed by pretty much members of his own tribe. Coffee does fit everything. Yeah, and he was a great spiritual leader, and that whole ghost dance movement, it was, a real, it was all mixed up with the nonsense that the Christians had told them, brainwashed. I mean, they were just, oh my God, I read Bury My Heart, Wounded Knee, and it's one of the most fucking maddening books that I've ever read, and the bravery and fucking heroism of those small bands of Indians who kept on getting lied to and cheated from white men. And Sitting Bull was an inspirational leader, as was Crazy Horse, and he was shot by Indians of his own tribe. And that's all I'm saying on that one. I want to give a phrase that keeps coming up in my mind. It's in a rap song. It's actually a Nas song. The first time I heard it, everybody uses it. It's sleep is the cousin of death, or sleep is the sister of death. I think that's ace, because dying has a lot to do with living. It's one of my creeds, if I do have any creeds. I do have personal creeds. That's actually what I was trying to do, but it kind of turned into the aphorisms. I don't think anything logos yin yang create love. Oh gosh, well, love is so deep. I mean, you could talk about love for the next 100 years, couldn't you? Just agape, the Greek word for love, which Crowley used to use a lot, which is, I think that's the spiritual love, isn't it? And there's love, you know, people say I love you on YouTube a lot, and you do. You interests are so, you share interests, and you have such a laugh and chat, and you do feel, oh my God, I feel love. It means love with God. Yes, absolutely. That's spiritual love that we're all talking about, and we all feel at different points, you know. So the planetary situation has been insane this last, you know, all summer long. That's why everybody's been boiling over with Eros is sexual love. Yes, indeed. So, how many kinds of love are there? Agape, Eros. Is there another one? See, philia. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Affiliation and all that. Logos, you're a clever man. Cause of division, of union is expectation, reliance on the flow of energy, the addiction causing withdrawal and expectation. Brilliant. Storage is love of parents or kids. Wow, the intentions are usually felt, don't you think? It's the only word that works after you've seen it. Love you guys. I know you're watching at home. Oh, and it's the new moon. I didn't even check what sign it's in, but I know it's the new moon. So this is going to be a much nicer, warmer, well, colder here. It's already autumn here. Is anyone Scottish in the house? Got any Scots in tonight? You know, all this ancient stuff has got so much wisdom, but I had just totally overlooked anything that was before Crowley as not meaningful, and I totally see it's like I say, it's that like a magical renaissance where everything is suddenly out on the table because of the availability of texts. Now you can get a PDF of anything. So we can all be super geniuses now with the libraries that $1 million wouldn't have bought you in the 1970s. Seven Serpents? You're married to a Scottish girl? What? Not Seven Serpents, not Mrs. Serpents, because she's mostly Scottish. Yeah, a lot. Well, you know, us Scots did kind of swarm over, and when part of the thing about the sitting bull thing was that I felt guilty because I've had relations that have gone to distant relations, but certainly Australia, and I'm sure I've had a few went to America. So there was a lot of Scots, Irish. You know, we weren't very kind to the Indians, were we? Not that I'm into that sort of racial guilt or anything, but you know, fair's fair. Mrs. Seven is Scottish, yeah. She was born in Scotland then. Excellent. Scotland is a fucking beautiful country. It really is. That's why I don't leave it very often. There's no need, because we've got all different kind of landscapes, from the barren west coast where it's all very moody and rocks, and then we've got the islands, which are tiny, weird little places where I've never actually been. Loads of stone circles. In Aberdeenshire, where I am just now, there's more stone circles, megalithic stone circles, than anywhere else in Western Europe, and I've been told that, and I absolutely believe that, although I might be wrong, because, you know, Aberdeen can be a bit Aberdeen-centric, but we do have loads. Me and Lato used to just sometimes run into one accidentally, not so far back we did. The guy said it was a burial site, but I could clearly see it was a recumbent stone with two things, which would have been a stone circle, that these huge stones, farmers used to take them and use them. I would love to go out with Thomas. I think I'd actually have a brilliant laugh with Thomas Sheridan once I slapped him around a bit. I mean, bought him a couple of drinks, and I'd make him bend to my will and admit that I was the greater mage, and then everyone would be fine, and then we'd have a few drinks and we could Would probably end up fighting. But it'd be a friendly fight. I'd be tickling his tummy. Because I do like Thomas. I just can't. I don't have time to listen. I'm too busy listening to Seven Serpents, Logos, and Grey Wolf Shaman, the best magicians in the planet. Conscience, Jiminy Cricket. I was once picked to play Jiminy Cricket in a school play, and I was so excited. This is childhood stuff, man. I was so excited, and I rehearsed and I was getting on so well with my English teacher. I loved all my English teachers and my art teachers. Didn't get on with my maths teachers, physics teachers, chemistry teachers, funnily enough. But, and I moved house before I got to take part in the play. Fort Wayne, oh, that sounds familiar for some reason. Is it 4:57 p.m. over there? Wow, that's like such a different time of day than it is here, because it's funny that, isn't it? We're all here, but yeah, we're on a round planet apparently. The seagulls are barking. And most other places, they what sound would you say seagulls make? The ones here are fucking crazy. They're like big pterodactyls. They're evolving to eat humans. They're terrifying. They really are. They sit on the bins and they rake through. Whereas a port, you see, and there's a lot of fish. Torrey is used to be a little fishing village. So I'm just going to go soon because I've almost done my hour of service to the community. I'm only joking. You guys are doing a service to me. I wish I had a boom to go out on. I'll just written one off. Yeah, so it's I must say, shout out to all the guys from Aberdeen that have found this podcast. It's just such a beautiful thing. So it's Justin, Jolene, Mark the Hat, Davey Curry, Donna, Les, who's going to give me a laptop for my podcast because I met him in the pub when I was out with Solar Stardust, brother. Fantastic day. Just great. Me and Stardust have such a great time. I've got lots of stuff about the ghost dance and stuff, but I ain't got time for that. I was listening to Jason Louv on John D today, and that was very, very... I'm glad I came on tonight. I was always meaning to. I did that little 5-minute hour this morning. I was really ready to go then, but I'd made plans and I really enjoyed it. Just everything's working out so beautifully, and I've got a lot of love and gratitude for all you nice people. Yeah, is one on John D. I mean, I really enjoyed a show that I'd watched before about John D and the macrobes. They were saying that the intelligences that John D met with had been instrumental in Francis Bacon and the setting up of America, and how they weren't necessarily great, nice beings because they wanted the apocalypse for Jesus to come. That was through their Christian lens. I do think there's a lot of that. Giordano Bruno was a fucking genius who was burned at the stake, wasn't he? Yes. Yep. Yeah. And he knew lots of stuff. Didn't Terence McKenna talk a lot about Bruno? He did a brilliant alchemy and hermeticism lecture, which some magicians pick points with, but it's generally brilliant, as all McKenna's work is. So Jason Louv on John D, overcoming the self. All the Nietzschean theories about that have been really fascinating at the moment. He says there's no facts, only interpretations, which is very interesting. I just thought, well, overcoming yourself is magic. That's the very process that magic is overcoming the self and becoming a new, better, happier, nicer, more beautiful, whatever I said, person, self. Magic on YouTube is becoming amazing, and it's because of guys like you and Logos, Seven Serpents, Grey Wolf, Occulture is a good one as well. Thomas Sheridan, yeah, I'll give him a little, can't name everybody. Glitch Bottle's a good one. Gordon White, he's good. I love Scarlet Imprint, and see that Alkistis Dimich, she's a very intelligent woman. Magic informs, educates, and causes growth in ways you can't imagine. And it keeps on saying that in the Kabbalah book. Not magic is not what you imagine. Magic is not what you imagine. And it's really not. Initiation is opening yourself to the whole. And I put God, Goddess, Prime Creator, and just to sum up, that sums it all up. The loving force, even though it is backwards like Hebrew. Oh look, and I'm right on the hour as well, so I might re-entitle it. I'll put it in brackets, the loving force. So thank you very much, guys, for coming tonight. I didn't think anybody would come after so many streams, and everybody must be real frazzled. But thank you, Logos. Subscribe to him if you haven't already. Prospero, whoever you are, you're a lovely person. Glad you came. Who else was here? Darcy, of course. Names Policy was here for a while. I'm not sure if he still is. Jasmine. I wouldn't mind making you a moderator, Jasmine, because you're very intelligent and good in handling situations. Brandon, you just got here, man. I'm just checking out. Oh God, how did? Well, I'll stay for just 5 minutes. I know, dude. Come on. So how? Just tell me for a minute then. How did it? Did you resolve your stuff with? I'll stay for a minute for you, Brandon. Just 1 minute, 5 minutes maybe. I've still got a trickle of coffee. I've got no smokes. Right, Brandon, you go and tell me how. How everything was going over on. Did you get things sorted out with our friend, CW Chanter, or is it all acrimonious again? Good. That's what I'd like to know, because we are a community, and we're all friends here. You know what I mean? I didn't mean it when I said I was looking for a new tribe. I am. We all have our own little tribes, and whoever shows up here, yes, thank you, Logos. He's going to be sending me some work, some rituals, and some grade material for his order. Yeah, I mean, honestly, everybody has been so stirred up lately, and YouTube is a very, it's so easy for messages to get twisted out of whack, and there's a lot of sort of back channels, which I always... Oh, did he? CW admitted something? Sorry, he never watches anyway. I love the people that give me love. And Brandon, I love Brandon. I love everyone. There's that word again. Christ, how many... This show is just... And it says live up there. It might as well just say love. There's a great... I'll have to watch it back in chat. I do watch the chat back, and I always get loads of ideas from chat, and then as the days pass, I just go... You never go back. Don't look back. Yeah, Brandon is this. He's a very likeable guy, and I think we all know that. That's why he's a moderator on this channel, and why he always will be. Then thought of Dad's story, then I paused from passing. Next time the car came from the other direction with his headlights off. No problem. I'll just have a little break. Just doing some alchemy here. Preparing some incense. Some special incense. If we were the same and didn't have... Oh yeah, I know. Everybody loves it. What are soap operas full of? People arguing, people falling in love, people falling out of love, people getting into drugs, people getting out of drugs, people having drink problems, people not having drink problems. It's all part of the glorious circus that we call life. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Sam, Shadow is here. Oh Christ, I'm gonna have to just keep streaming then. Oh God, I'll have to really dig into the old treasure chest. Ah, Sam, yeah. Okay, I'll keep going for a little while, you bastards. You move in on me space, and then you didn't really move in on my space, I'm only joking, but when I saw Positive Momentum was on, and Modwiz was on. I was like, ah, fucking hell. I've been waiting all day to do this, but I've got like an hour of rituals to do before I come on here. You inconsiderate. It's alright. Yeah, well, I'm really glad you came over, Ken? That was an Aberdeen-ism there that I do say at work sometimes. You say Ken instead of I know. So you say, Ken, I know. It's dark 30. It is 6 minutes past 6. 666. Ow! I notice that a lot of people still have 666 in their YouTube names and stuff. My actual true magical number is 609, which is interesting because it's like a 6 and then a nothing, and then an inverted 6, which is a 9, and I was born in 69. So the 6 and then the 0, which is nothingness to me, and then the two bookends, the 6 and the 9, are almost like the yin and the yang, aren't they? So that's a perfect magical number. Such a balanced and even individual as Astaroth, the great demon of the universe. Might as well ban the gong. If you can't think of anything to say, just ban the gong for a while. And what did he give you for your soul? What did you get in return? Don't tell me. Oh, sorry. Whoa. No. See, when I do this, I'm not aiming it at anyone, and it's completely not loaded. What are mine? These are the instruments. Like that little tassel. White silk. Well, I'm not even sure if it's silk, to be honest. Whoa! Shit! Look at that! Live fire on Sunroth the Mage. I knew that was going to happen. I just burnt my fucking tree alive. Right beside Mars as well. It's an omen. I knew that was going to happen one day, honestly. It's live candles with all this paper and shit. If one day I just burst into flames on screen. I mean, look, it's got another one down here. Fire, you see, don't play with fire, man. Woohoo! Let's burn it down, baby! That is dangerous. Right, I'm blowing this out. No, not blowing it out. That's far too sensible. Oh, I feel them already. They're entering me. There's plenty of demons in me already. I don't need to invite more in. Okay, so I was ready to check out then, and then who came in? Sam and Brandon, so I'm staying for them, guys. Say hello to everyone in chat, and let's all be lovely friends. We've got some fantastic people in tonight. 12 people. I think I am now the official king of YouTube. See, my ego inflation. But at least I know it. At least I know I'm an egomaniacal maniac. But I am always joking as well, you know. I mean, I'm rarely serious, even when I look serious. I never really look serious, to be honest, do I? Do I? See, I don't know if I've got much material left for you guys. I might have to go back a bit. I've only got so many hours in the day. Oh, we could talk about that cut up I did. But I would have to kind of get it on the tablet and stuff. So might as well just talk about the daily practice, I suppose, and little tweaks I've been making here and there. It's taken me a lot longer to do my practice every day. It takes a little bit longer because I've got to have all I used to be a bit more slapdash. It wouldn't have everything in place. Oh yeah, the I Ching. Maybe that would be a good time because the I Ching very much relates to the community thing and all that. So maybe it would be a good thing. In fact, damn it, because that's the one I got, and I just thought, isn't that so typical of the I Ching that it would be so pertinent? So here it is, just to prove I ain't, well, I could have made it up, I guess, but I wouldn't do it. Bye. Can you see the hexagram? It doesn't matter if that's forward or backwards. So it's wind on the bottom with water on top, I believe. Yep, and it's hexagram 48. Yeah, I Ching. I actually prefer it. Look, I've got my little notebook down here, but I haven't actually used it. I was going to use it as a research tool, but I really need an assistant. Maybe Sora Stardust, and she can be my... No, she can't be my assistant. That's sexist. I'll be her assistant. I'll just get me an I Ching book, because obviously I can't memorise it. I'm in my pyjamas. Oh God, this place always looks like a party after I finish streaming. No, it is a party when I finish streaming. Me and my guardian angel. Right, which number was it again? 48. And I am going to go after this, guys, because it's like an incredible 12 minutes past 6 in the AM. Coming to meet, that's the one I got twice. That was crazy. That was when things did get a little bit dark at that point. That was darkness reappears unexpectedly. Caution and reticence are in order. This one is Ching, the Well. 48. I've even underlined some bits. See? 888. Yes, that's it. I always think Mercury, the number 8, and Mercury is Thoth, and Mercury is the messenger of the gods. So that's why it's the Thoth Tarot, because it's telling you a message. Right, listen to this, guys, and then I'll just butt out. And this is not me saying this. This is the bloody I Ching. You can't argue with that, although it is very abridged. I shall begin. I Ching, Ching the Well. Return to the well of goodness. No community can survive without a dependable source of pure water. Somebody keeps talking about pure water, don't they? It's weird. In a similar way, human beings cannot survive without a reliable source of spiritual nourishment. Underlined. In fact, we need 2 wells. 2. I love my runes. Yes, we need 2 wells. An external source of guidance, such as the I Ching, of course, and an internal source of guidance, which must be our own good character. It's the 48, Ching the Well. So yeah, it's saying we need community, but we need to be guided by our own higher selves, or the I Ching, or the Holy Guardian Angel, but not ideologies. It's not about ideologies. If you're blindly following an ideology, you're not thinking. This hexagram comes to encourage you to concentrate on developing, purifying, and utilizing your 2 wells, and it's in inverted commas. Notice the name of this hexagram, Ching, the Well. The I Ching is blah blah blah. It's an inexhaustible source of spiritual nourishment. It totally is. If you approach it sincerely without mistrust or frivolity, that's trusting the process. That's something I've always really said, that Logos, you said it earlier on today as well, that you can't be too skeptical when you're practicing magic, because it just short circuits, you're going on the inner journey, so you can't poo-poo the idea of going on an inner journey, and the one thing that I've taken from chaos magic is, I'm not alone in saying this, that belief is definitely a tool, and you can nudge yourself into believing things that I wouldn't normally, because I am a very skeptical, real kind of person, believe it or not. But I do lately with the magic, I've let myself become far more imaginative, and thus again far more creative. Blah blah blah. It will, if you are sincere, reveal to you the fundamental issues of your life, and this is what magic does. It reveals the fundamental issues of your life, makes you get your Malkuth in order, and then you go into Yesod, where I am just now. I'm on the moon. Next I'll be going to Mercury. It's like a mirror, yes, a mirror. How apt. And the mirror is, yes, and there's a big thing in Magick about, you know, the nefesh is your animal soul, and your ruach is the ego, and then what is the supreme one again? The high one, the neshama is your high self, and one of them's water. And the reflection is also the water. But YouTube is also a reflection, isn't it? Because I'm looking at my reflection right now, and it is backwards. So maybe that's why it's backwards, because it has to be backwards. Right, it's saying dispersion and dissolution. It just opened on that page. So with that, I shall disperse and dissolve back into nothingness. So thank you very much. 11 people watching. That's the supreme number of, well, I was born on the 11th of February 1969. So that's an 11 right there. I hate it when I do that. I've already set fire to my tree of life, you know. Thank you guys for coming. It would be nothing without you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. I've had a great night. It's been brilliant. Brandon, thank you so much. Darcy, thank you so much. Jasmine, brilliant. Thank you so much. Who else was here? Prospero, yeah, nice one. Thank you. Logos, of course. I'm glad I streamed. I'm always glad well, sometimes. Usually I'm glad I streamed. Last week's I wasn't so... I need a couple of magicos in my chat, man. Who else was here? Alistair, thank you very much, yeah. I feel tonight did go good, although I really wish I'd gone when I was running hot earlier on, because you get tired, man. But Jasmine, you're a blessed person, Jasmine. You're so nice and peaceful. Darcy, I probably won't. I get very excited. I've just had a cup of coffee, but I am going to go, because, you know, I can't keep you guys any longer. An hour is about as much as you can bear. Good night, everyone. I do love you, love you, love you. It's a word that's chucked around. I'd say you've got absolutely, you know, that's what I want. Magical people for magical times. Damn it, if I do that once more, I'm going to shoot myself in the head with my... Jokes. So yes, good night. Love is the answer. Love is the law, and all that. So thank you so much. Thosis Gnosis, blessings, and I can't wait to watch the chat back, because there was some crazy stuff going on. Really brilliant. So thank you guys. You're amazing. Thank you.